Hello, welcome to Pro Mixing and Mastering. Today I'm going to show you how to mix a professional song in Cubase 5. I want you to listen to this, then after that I'm going to come and explain what I did to it and all the plugins that I used. I'm going to review everything to you. Here we go.
Wherever we go, we shine. Wherever we go, we take control. Possessing the nations all over the world, all over the world. Oh, they ask me how you get the favor. They're wondering how my life is changing. Jehovah will never let me down. His word is working. Come and see His word is working in me, working in me. Ay, 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 ay. I'm counting my blessings one by one, two by 2 million. Ay, 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 ay. I'm counting my blessings one by one, two by 2. Ay, 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 ay. I'm putting on my best clothes, best watch, best belt, best shoes, best glasses. Hey, hey. I'm putting on the best swag, riding the best ride, living like a king, yeah. It's the doing of the Lord, living like a king. It's the doing of the Lord, yeah, yeah.
Alright, you've listened to the song and the song is fire. As you can see, there are some lines that are on the vocals. I'll do a tutorial on these next week on Monday. So here is what I did. I made the instrumental. I balanced the instrumental. I made sure that the instrumental is balanced. Then secondly, during recording of vocals, I made sure that I record the best that I could record, and if I made any mistakes, I had to retake 3 times or 4 times till I got the right vocal. Remember, whenever you record good vocals, it is going to be very, very easy for you to mix those vocals. So I made sure that I recorded good vocals and vocals that were not going to give me a lot of problems, or vocals that were going to be a little bit easier during mixing. And then secondly, I started adding in effects, plugins. And the first thing that I did, the first thing that you must always do is make sure you add in a denoiser or X noiser. I'm using X noiser from Waves, and these are my settings. The reduction is 0, threshold is on 0, it's actually on medium. I just used the default settings. I did not do anything. The attack is on 30, release is on 400, the frequency is on 4006, and the gain is on 00. The reason why I add the X noiser before any other plugin is because I've come to realize that when you add a denoiser or X noiser after a lot of plugins, it doesn't really work the way it is supposed to work. And watch where I have added X noise from. I've added X noise from the audio track, from here, not from the group channel, but from here. Why? Because I wanted to start from there. The next, I put a plugin called Aravox, and these are my settings, -8.5. I wanted to lift up the vocal and just to give it that punch. So whenever you want to give your vocals that punch, use put in Aravox. Aravox is really good when it comes to vocals, lifting up vocals and just bringing up that warmth and that power. Number 3, I added a compressor. This is the stock compressor from Cubase, and I just used the default settings, and I just reduced the analysis, the peak RMS, I reduced it to 0, the release on 500, then hold, I removed the hold from 0.1 to 0, the attack is 1.0, then auto, the makeup gain, I left it on auto, then the ratio is on 2.00, soft knee, then I left the attack on -20.0. This is my first compressor on the lead vocal. This is my first compressor, and these settings are all, I put all these settings in this one, in this one, in this one, in all the audio tracks. The first thing that you do is add more these plugins in the audio tracks. and then from there you can add more plugins in the group channels. So the fourth plugin that I added in the audio track is our EQ. These settings work for FabFilter. One of my subscribers asked a tutorial on how to use FabFilter plugins, but basically it is all the same. You can copy exactly what I've done. I gave it a low cut, and then the frequency is 68, the low cut. This is my first EQ. So I used 2 compressors just to give my vocals that punch and that power. So the first compressor that I used is a stock compressor from Cubase 5. Then our EQ, I use this our EQ from Waves, and the settings are the same. You can copy the frequency. The low cut frequency is on 68. The Q is 0.90. The gain is 0.1. Then number three right here, the gain is negative 3.9. Then frequency is 141. Then the Q is 0.80. Then the blue, number 4, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bands. Number 4, the gain is on negative 3.0, frequency 712, and then Q 0.80. You can copy this. Then number 5, the gain is 3.5 plus 3.5. This time it is positive. I took it higher, wanted to give it a little bit of a sheen, to bring out some presence. Then the frequency is on 13,071, and then the Q is 0.80. Then number 6, I did not do anything. I did nothing to 6 and 2. I switched them off. Then the this other side, I just stay left and right. I left it where they are supposed to be, 0.02, 0.2, 0.2. That's basically what I did to every track. As you can see, when I come to this one, same settings. When I come to this one, same settings. When I come to this one, same settings. And now we move to group channels and also FX channels. So I created group channels. You can check out the video I did on group channels in case you don't know how to create group channels in Cubase 5. So I created group 1 and group 2. Group 1 is for the lead vocals and group 2 is for the chorus lead vocal. I created also FX channels. FX channels are used to put in effects like delays, flangers, reverbs, and so on. So my FX channel number 1, I used the Reverb 32, and then what I did was I calculated the reverb according to the tempo of the song. So what you do, I've got my calculator right here. This is my calculator. What you do if you don't know how to calculate reverb time, what you do is you do 60,000 all the time. You use 60,000 divided by the tempo of the song, which is 100, and mine is 110. My tempo is 110, and then it will give you 545.45, and you just have to round it off, so it will be 5.46. So 5.46. And so I kept on dividing till I got something better. So basically that's what you do. Then this number, reverb time, the reverb time that you get, you just have to divide it by 2. The number that you get is your pre-delay, and then just put it there. So my reverb time is 1.37, then my pre-delay is on 6.9 milliseconds. That's what I did. Then to the reverb, I didn't want the low, so I had to cut some of the lows, because basically what really happens is whenever you put a reverb, there is that mumble in the background, and you don't want that to be in your vocal. So make sure you give it a little bit of a low cut, and then so that the reverb can really be clean. So I wanted a warm vocal, and that's what I was aiming for. And then my FX channel number 2, I used edge delay from Waves. You can use any type of delay. There are a lot of delays, and basically the settings are the same. So I put my delay is on 1/8 on 1/8, and then I put it on ping pong, then I put it on BPM, then I also turned on the lo-fi, and just to give it that bounce according to the way the tempo is in my song. Then next I went to the group channels, and this is what I did. So remember this, the first in audio channels, in audio tracks, I had to put X noiser. So this is going down, this is going to channel down to group number 1. So in group number 1, the first thing that I put is auto-tune. And you've got to put auto-tune according to your key. If you don't know how to use auto-tune, I'll make a video for that. Just DM me in the comments section below, and I will make a video. So my key is in G, then my scale is minor. Then I didn't do anything to these. A natural vibrato, I took it out. My humanize is on 70, then retune is on 15, just a little bit. I didn't give it a lot of auto-tune, just to humanize a little bit. And then my relaxed is on 35, and soprano input type is soprano. And basically that's what I did. So I put auto-tune to give it that warmth, and just to give it a little bit of, to smoothen the vocals a little bit. And then secondly, in my group channel number 1, I put in FabFilter Pro. So if you don't know how to use FabFilter plugins, here is that plugin. This is FabFilter Pro EQ Q3, and so I wrote off the low end to about 101. So you can copy this. I wrote it off to 101. Then I swept for unnecessary frequencies, and this area I removed frequencies which I did not like from around this area. Then I also let me show you. Let me just save this to VVV. So actually what you do is you search for unwanted frequencies like this. You search for unwanted frequencies until you find frequencies you don't like. Then once you find that frequency you don't like, just drop it down a little bit, always to around -3.5. Don't give it a deep cut, because your vocal is gonna sound very thin. So you still want the body to be around your vocal. So what you do is just give it a little bit of a dip, just a little, maybe 3.5 or 2.5, 2.6. Yeah, this is why I recommend that you just give it just a little EQ. Then you can add another, just like what I did. My audio track, I put in our EQ, and then I EQ'd here. Why did I use 2 EQs? I didn't want to dig deeper, so I just wanted it to sound natural. And if you want to make it sound, you want to make your voices sound natural when mixing, make sure that you use 2 EQs. You use them just a little bit, slightly, just use them just to remove unnecessary sounds. And the other one, the second one, can be used to also help the first one, so that you can move unnecessary frequencies. Let me take this back. So basically that's what I did. Then I continued. I found I wanted frequency 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this side I left it the way it is. My third plugin is RDSer. Male voices are around 4K when it comes to de-essing. If you want to remove that unwanted frequency, work around 4K. If you don't know how to do it, just come to load and go to male de-ess narrow. Then this will automatically take you to 4K. This is the sweet spot. This is gonna help your voice really sound very, very nice. Then from there I used our compressor. This is my second compressor. Remember, in the audio track I used the Cubase compressor. This one is my second compressor. In this one, my attack, I took it to really fast attack. Then my release, I put it on 137. My ratio, I put it on 3.10. You can put these settings whenever you're using FabFilter compressor. You can use these settings. You can use these settings whenever you're using Waves compressors or Cubase. The settings are the same. So you can copy. The ratio is 3.10. Threshold is -27.5. The attack is on 0.50. Then I put it on smooth, electro, RC. Then my gain I boosted up due to compression. Whenever you're doing a slight compression to heavy compression, there's a lot of volume that goes out of that voice. So what you do is bring back the lost volume using the gain. So I brought it back using the gain. So this is my second compressor to add in the warmth and to bring out these transients which were lost when I used the first compressor. So this brought everything out. From there I used RDSer. This is my second RDSer, warming up the track again and controlling the S's and the T's. So with this one is not on 4K. This one is just controlling the S's, which are around 16K. Most S's and T's are around 16,000K. So this is just used to control just the S's, not to give it that sweetness which is around 4K. This one is controlling the S's. So I put this one specifically for the S's, and my threshold is on negative 33.0 and my range is negative 16.0. Then from there I used Isotope Ozone 7 exciter. This exciter helps to warm up the vocal. I went into the presets, then I used Gentle Tape. What Gentle Tape does is it gives smoothness to S's, like shh, shh. You know, that kind of smoothness that you feel, that you hear in most of the songs, most of international songs. It is because of Ozone 7 exciter. This is a Gentle Tape. I put a tape because it gives that tape feel. It has an analog tape feel to it. So this warms up the vocal and just gives it that good low end and gives it that good high end, very good effect. And then from there I put in a C1 gate stereo. I wanted to reduce the background noise in the parts where I was not singing. So what I did was my get open is negative 56.4, then get close is on negative 56.4 also. Get open is when it opens up, then get close is when it closes up the vocal, and then the attack is on 0.01, and then release is on 1. My attack, I reduced the attack. It was somewhere there. I reduced it so that I can have faster attacks. Then hold is on 0, and then this is how the vocal sounds like with these settings.
Wherever.
So these settings are the same settings which are in group 2, as you can see. Group 1, group 2, group 1, group 2, nothing is changing. So I just did a copy of all these settings into group 2. They're the same settings for the chorus, same settings for the verse. You might ask, but why didn't I just create in one group? The reason is because whenever you load in a lot of vocals, Cubase tends to reduce on the volume. Some of the vocals just get swallowed up. It's like I don't really know what really happens, but that's what I've come to discover, that whenever you're using one group for all the vocals, some of the vocals get swallowed up. So we want all the vocals. I want the vocals to be independent. So whenever you want the vocals to be independent, create group 1 and group 2 so that Cubase can breathe a little bit more and not work hard on using just one group. So this is how they sound like with all these plugins.
Wherever we go, we shine. Wherever we go, we take control. Possessing the nations all over the world. All over the world, oh.
Without these plugins,
wherever we go, we shine. Wherever we go, we take control. Possessing the...
A lot of background noise which I controlled using X noise, so I'm gonna take them back now, and this is how they sound like with all the plugins engaged.
We're children of God. This is wherever we go, we shine, shine. We shine as children of God. They ask you where you get the blessings. They ask you why you look so fine. They don't know that it's Jesus. The one wonder how your life keeps on rising, rising. The wonder how your life keeps on shining, right. Shining, 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 shining. Ay, 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 ay. I'm counting my blessings one by one, two by two. Ay, 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 ay. I'm counting my blessings one by one, two by two. Ay, 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 ay.
So guys, this is how the song sounds like, and I believe it to even be much better after a few days from now when I come back to check what's supposed to be put in. And a song is never complete. You can never complete a song, so you never really know what to change. So if you like the song, take it out, produce it, though you might still come back. And this is how production is. So if you want to produce professional vocals, mix downs which are professional, just copy my settings. If you want these the preset that I used, my preset, just DM me. My WhatsApp number is right there on my channel. Just DM me, then I will be able to send you this preset for free and exactly what I used. Make sure that you produce good vocals. Watch out for the next video. Remember, I told you these drawings that I did draw on the vocal, I'm gonna do a video on this coming Monday. So I'll see you in the next video.
Counting